What? Me? Me and a talking chimp? I can do that. Yeah. No, that's what? And he flies a plane at the same time? Wow. This chimp is talented. That's fantastic. All right. Well, listen, do me a favor. Have your people call my people and we'll do lunch. All right. Well, let's do it. So, how are you? Look at that. Hollywood. Hollywood. There's actually a trail that you can go up there and take pictures of it. And if you were really adventurous, you can go around the backside. You're not really supposed to, but yeah, you can. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. How are you? It's, what time is it? It's 9 o'clock here on the west coast of Los Angeles, California. It's a Friday. It's the weekend. But for the past 3 months, it's been the weekend, so hope everything is cool. We're excited about a lot of the parks opening up. Let me see. We've got a bunch of amazing shows coming up, a bunch of amazing guests. I'm so pleased to be able to do this, to talk with people, to help you guys learn more about the world around you, our community, all these cool cats that make up our paintball world, and just bring you some amazing people and some information. Today, we're going back to this location. You know where that is? Nope, that's not like the Keebler's home. That's Russia. Why are we going back to Russia? No collusion. We're going back to Russia because, well, beginning of the year, we did the NXL pre thing at Hollywood Sports, and the Russian Legion came, and they were like, I mean, if you guys don't know, these guys are a real big deal in the world of paintball. And Kirill was there, and I was talking with all the Russians, Privet and Dos Vidanos, and all of a sudden I turned to this guy. I said, hello, and he said, hey, dude. What the fuck? What? What are you doing? You're a traitor. No. And he goes, no. He goes, no. I play for the Russian Legion. I live in Russia. And I said, wow, this is a cool cat. So anyway, we've been bouncing around our schedules trying to make this happen. And finally, we made it happen. We're going to have him on. His name is Jason Bourne. No, I'm just joking. You would think that the guy is Jason Bourne. With all the places and things he's done, you would think this guy's Jason Bourne. No, it's Jason Burns, and he is just a really cool cat. You're gonna meet him today. Usually, what I do is when I do my prep, I go and I look at their Facebook and I grab all their pictures. I couldn't do it on this one. It's too big. There's just too much stuff. This guy has just been like all over the world. So we're gonna just look at his Facebook album, and he's gonna help us out. He's gonna guide us through his past, and he's just a cool cat. What's up, brother?
Hey.
How was that for an intro?
It's good. It's funny. There's lots of cool stuff, lots of cool pieces and parts that make this machine work. It's awesome.
Oh, I like how you work. You're very calculated. I like this. All right, brother man. So tell everybody who you are.
I'm Jason Burns, and I play paintball.
That's it.
Sounds like I'm an alcoholic anonymous. I'm wearing exactly the most expensive shirt that I own.
Exactly.
It's multiple years of wanting it, so finally got it.
Dude, fantastic. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm sitting behind me is sitting the spires of in Red Square, right? These amazing things. Is that right? Is that where I am in Red Square?
That's St. Basil's Church, a cathedral in the center of the square, the Red Square.
Nice. And it's we're 10 hours. You're 10 hours ahead of us. So right now it's 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yep, 7 o'clock at night. Yep.
Nice, fantastic. All right. So what has already happened? I'm just joking. It's always that funny thing. When I was a kid growing up, It's like that Australia was already ahead of us, and I said, "Well, wait, maybe we can bet on something because they already knew what happened." And my brain just couldn't calculate the time. But anyway, all right. So listen, brother. Obviously, you're American.
Yeah. I'm an American.
Where were you born?
So I'm a military brat. My mother and father served the United States military for, I think, combined of 60 years, or
Wow.
30 and 30. So in the Air Force and doing everything all around the world. So I lived in Hahn, Germany. I've been all around Germany, everywhere with them. And then I moved to the United States, and then back to Germany, and all over the place with the military. And they ended up stationed in Hill Air Force Base in Utah. So my parents are still in Utah.
Okay,
that's
cool.
where they retired.
So at like what age, when you were like a military brat, but at like what age did you settle basically in the States and kind of got like that American something? How old were you?
Well, I always went to like the base schools, so it was always American school. So
that's not America.
Yeah,
that's the base, right? Okay, so I mean,
like, when I was in the United States, when I moved to, I think probably like I'd say like 6 to 8 years old, something like that. So.
Okay, cool. So then there's like, because I'm always wondering, like when I talk with people that are either immigrants, transplants, or like you guys, there's like sometimes it's like I go, hey, did you ever watch that TV show? And they're like, huh? No, because you know what I'm saying, there was like a certain thing that maybe they didn't show you in Germany on the base that we grew up with here, like you know what I'm saying? So was there like is it like you said, like 6 to 8? So were you able to if you guys were like talking with certain things, were you able to fit in with the kids, or did you say I'm kind of missing something?
So my father and my mother were high ranking when I was born. So when you're like an airman or lower ranking, I'm not sure the ranking system, but at a certain point you have to stay on the base housing. But after that, the ranking that you're high enough, you can move off base. So we actually lived off base sometimes, and I actually met a friend. I haven't been able to find him. I've been searching for maybe a year now. But his name was Christopher, and he was a German boy, and I was an American boy, and we didn't speak either language of each other's. But we got along perfectly. We played in the backyard with trucks and stuff in the dirt, and we ran around everywhere. So,
dude, what a story! Dude,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, how would you, if you just knew Christopher, how would you know? I mean, if you didn't get his last name, and I mean, how?
So I don't have his actual last name. I just tried to find through where we lived, and through my parents' military friends to see if there's a possibility. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty slim. Wow, and I had another friend. That he was also in the military. His father was in the military as well, the U.S. military, and his name was Maurice. And he was a black kid, and he was my best friend ever. And I've been looking for him as well. And I do know his last name and stuff like that. So hopefully one day I'll find him.
Good for you, brother. Good. All right, cool. So now we moved you to Utah, right?
Yeah.
And you're a Mormon. So I'm just joking.
No, definitely not. I mean, nothing wrong with that, because you know they have.
No, I mean, if you like a lot of wives, I mean, I have one headache. I don't need more headache.
That's true.
So anyway, so you moved to Utah, and so what was it? It was basically like from 88 years old on, or how long did you stay there?
So we were there. I was there, and then back to Germany, and then back to Utah again in the year. Yeah, we had a lot of moving because of the military. We would get stationed different places, and you know that's a hard part about being a military kid. But you actually become friends with the kids of everyone that's stationed with your parents.
Right.
So they moved a lot with other people in there. Like the 388th fighter squadron was where my mom was and stuff like that. So we moved with a lot of the families as well, where they were stationed. So I had friends like my friend Matt Beck. He was my friend for the whole time. We're moving everywhere. And then when we actually ended up in Utah for good for a long time, right? He only moved a few houses down. Wow. So we were right next to each other. So it was pretty cool. It was
That's
lucky.
cool.
It's lucky because sometimes that doesn't happen. So
Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, so then Utah, you learned how to ski?
of course, yeah, that was the biggest thing when I learned how to ski first and then snowboarding. I've been
Yeah.
snowboarding for probably 18 years.
Wow.
So 18, 19 years. I love it.
Okay.
It's
So
another world.
so you had that that adrenaline kind of thing, right? You already love that,
Yeah.
the rush and the adrenaline. And all right, cool. All right. So then, and you're, don't tell me, I'm really good at this. Hold on. Wait, do you use oil volley? Do you use oil volley? No. Okay,
Oil,
good.
hey, no, I actually use
Okay, because I'm guessing you're about 20, 30, 25, 35, 20, 20, 25. 25.
25 is just my number. I'm 36, 37, 37.
Dude,
Jesus,
I'm telling you, it's oil volley, dude. You look great. You're fantastic. All right, cool. So 37. Okay, cool. So how old were you when you discovered our sport?
Oof, man. When I discovered the sport first, it was in the early 2000s, like 2000, 2002, 2003 is when I discovered it. So, and then when I started playing like outside, so I actually started playing. My brother bought me a autococker for my birthday.
Wow.
And I started playing with a bunch of friends in the woods, of course. That's where I started, in the woods. Played with a bunch of friends, and then they kind of just lost interest. They did their own thing. Some worked on cars, some did some other stuff. And then I started going to the local paintball fields in Utah. I went to Utah Extreme Paintball, Paintball Addicts. Actually, I went to Paintball Addicts first and just started going there. And, I had an autococker, and some guys actually had like Ego 6, I think. So they were a little bit higher, like more technical stuff.
Yeah.
So then I just moved on from there. I just started moving up from there, and eventually tried out for a team called Tombstone, which was out of Utah, coached by Craig Rippin. And we did all that. We went to the NPPL and the stuff in Huntington Beach. So,
dude, when'd you go to Huntington?
That's how it all began.
When'd you go? Like 2014?
I think my first Huntington Beach was 2012. I think.
Wow.
I want to say 2012.
Really?
So that was the Huntington Beach experience.
So that was
maybe even earlier than that, because I remember when we played the first time I played there wasn't even turf. Then there was one year that we played with the turf over the sand.
Dude, okay, wait. So you played just in the sand, and then there was
the sand, and and then they put the turf. But you would be dumping sand out of all of your gear for the whole rest of the year.
I know, dude. That's crazy. Listen, I've been there a couple of times. I actually set up a booth when I was doing a tournament series there. I had my own tournament, and Chuck Kench was really kind of cool. He said, I think it was Tom Cole and Chuck Kench. There was one of those guys that were basically running it. And I think Chuck Kench actually owned it, or it was that his thing, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Chuck that owned it, and then like Tom, and I'm pretty sure Pevs was involved in it with all the stuff.
Must have been Pev, right? So I just remember though that it was like really they put it on the beach, and they actually put it by like a walkway so people could people that ride their bikes could actually see, and they were still like people like, what the fuck is all this stuff, right? What's going on? But the crazy thing is that they really weren't set up for like cameras and stuff. But there was a camera that used to be set up so people could actually watch the beach from their their computers, and somebody cranked it over to the right hand side so they could.
I remember that.
It was kind of like, wow, look, we can watch paintball too. So it was kind of cool. All right, so
it was always perfectly planned as well, because they had it. There was years where Huntington Beach was happening during Body Glove. On one side of the pier was a paintball event, and on the other side it was the Body Glove surfing contest. Right, so it was really cool. You got to see two big sports. So.
It was fantastic, and it was good. There was a lot of teams. It was fantastic. Okay, what was the name of the team that you went there with?
I went with two different teams. I went with Tombstone, and I also went with Venom. SLC Venom, and three teams actually. I played in NPL because I went with Salt City Vengeance as well.
And then, when you had like an autococker, and then all of a sudden you start playing, tournament paintball. It's like, you're like leaving a big gap out here. How did you somebody picked you up and go, hey, you'd be perfect, or we just need people?
So Utah paintball was a little bit famous with like teams being built and then falling apart, and then built and falling apart. But half the time it was the same players. So it was a little strange.
Right.
So when I actually started going for teams, it was I went to a field. I went to Utah Extreme Paintball and just overheard there was a tryout, and then I came at that time and I tried
Wow.
out. So, and of course, I didn't make the first team. Of course, that never happens. But went there and did all of that, and just started moving further and further. I mean, I was on so many teams in Utah there, because you just changed. The teams just kept changing.
Okay, but hang on a second. But you were persistent, and you knew what you wanted
Yes.
to do, right? And
Yeah.
you said, "This is for me. I want to do this thing," right? So
Yeah.
it's like when I was when I started, like I said, my league, the WCL, I realized early on, 2008, 9, that it was like a good old boys club, and that they kept on pushing you away, like, you're not part of this, you're not part of this.
Yep.
You just kept on like, no, I
Yeah.
think I like this. I think I like this. And then eventually people go, I guess this person they want to do what they're going to do, kind of thing. But you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
persistence, right? You just said, no, I'm going to do this thing. And yeah.
Yeah, there was. I mean, the persistence started when you go with your close friends in the woods, and then they all just kind of leave.
Yeah.
They stop playing this thing that you enjoy. So then
Yeah.
you have to go and look for these people that enjoy it. And once you find them, they don't immediately accept you.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I mean, there's still guys that don't accept me in the Utah paintball. That it's just, but you know what? I think that they made me more powerful.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. All the shit that you've done, and then you go back to Utah paintball, and they're like, "So fuck you." Like, is that what?
Yeah, yeah. There's still some of them. There's still some of them. But you know what? They just keep giving me. They just keep putting gas on my fire.
Dude,
that's all.
exactly. But that's on them, dude. If you can't look at your history, come on. Okay, that's on them. That was like Green Day. I don't know if are you into music?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I know who Green Day is for sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, they were like they were doing the alt punk scene kind of thing, and they were like all these the club that they were doing at was all kind of like we hate everybody else, we're just doing this punk scene, and then Green Day got signed, and then everybody said, "Oh, you guys sellouts, fuck you," like this. They stopped playing their music. That Green Day never said anything bad about them. They just kept on doing what they're doing, and they actually did a benefit concert for that club, saying, "Hey, we're cool." And the club was kind of like, "All right, listen, you guys, get out of your head. Get out of your head. People grow. You know what I'm saying? Come on."
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's an amazing story. Okay, so you go to the MPPL. You play. You're playing there, doing all this kind of stuff. Cool. Now what? Where did you from Utah, which is not the center of paintball mecca, but from Utah, you're like, okay, now what? Now how did you start going the path that you're in?
So I did. I think a lot of people have told me that it's one of the biggest steps they've ever seen in the paintball. I've been told several times, because basically Utah paintball plateaued. It plateaued, and that was it. And there was a couple options. One, I moved to Florida. Two, I moved to California, where it's always going.
Right.
Well, I did a bigger jump, and I decided to go where my favorite all-time team ever was from. And, back in the day, it was Boston Red Legion, but I knew where they were. So I moved to Russia. But I moved because I fell in love with a Russian woman that also played paintball. So I did a big jump.
I think this is wait. Don't tell anybody, but I think this is a honey trap. It's that Russian thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a Russian thing. And they tried because your family's from the military, and they knew it, and they were spying on you. And they sent this woman out there who played paintball. I play paintball. Yeah, and then you felt, I know what's going on here. I've seen this in the movies. Exactly.
Well, you know what? To be honest, oh crap! I just pressed the button. Sorry, 1 second. I hope I didn't lose you. Okay, when I first met this girl, I was very standoffish, because before I met a lot of female paintball players, and obviously that's awesome that girls are playing paintball. But when I saw it, it was a little distressful to me, because I was looking at it and I was like, okay, I love this sport a lot, and these girls are playing it. That's awesome. But there was some bad spots of these girls that were playing. They weren't playing to play the sport. They were playing to meet the man, or to be on a calendar or something like that.
Bingo.
And so at first I was like, God, but there at that time there were some girls that were just killing it, and I loved it.
Right.
And then when I met the woman I moved here for, I saw her and I saw like how many trophies she won, how hard she played, how her team was killing it, how she was already a European champion.
Wow.
And now she's like 5-time champion. So 5 times, that's like, I believe it's 3 times world and 2 times European. It could be the other way around. But you know the Russian female team. I'm sure you've watched events and stuff like that. They last year they just beat up on USA, which was very difficult in my position. Every time it becomes difficult because I'm sitting in the stands and I have lots of people I love in Russia, lots of people I love in America. Who do I root for? You know.
Dude, listen. I agree with you, and I do see it a lot in our sport. Well, not just women, but a lot of people. They come into our sport and they want to whatever. They have like some mental problems they want to fix, or they're broken, or there's a lot of times what happens is they're like, wow, I can be a star in this sport. I can be like I can be, I couldn't make it in the.
And more power to them. More power to them. Of course, follow your dreams and do what you need to do, but
follow your dreams.
Don't make the sport look bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And don't be destructive in our sport. Don't come in and burn bridges and screw with people and whatever. Listen, come in, do our sport proud. Come in, have a great time. And I mean, if you advance in the ranks by your techniques or by your talent, yes. But if you're also advancing in the ranks because of the way you look, that's like whipped cream. That's not going to hold together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is. So.
Exactly. But anyway, enough of that. That's for another show, which I'm going to do. But anyway, so then you meet this authentic player who's like, yes, I really love the sport, and then So then, wait, but hang on a second. I know, obviously you know who Gary Bauman is.
Yeah, of course.
He's a really good friend of mine. So. We're looking at maybe next year to go to Russia for the big game, and he said,
that would be awesome.
Okay, so he goes, you got to do the visa process, and he says you're also in the Israeli military, so that might be a bit of an issue because they have to do your background thing. And I go, but wait a minute, Jason, what? Jason, you're like military's in your blood. Did you have to get a visa? And the whole
yes, so I actually I can give you the perfect website right now, and you can get your stuff solved in 14 days. It's maybe even 11 if you expedite. But it's called gotorussia.com.
Wow.
And they do everything for you. The consulate note, everything like that. It might be more expensive, but it's just a one-stop shop. That's why it's a little bit more expensive. So gotorussia.com. And you send it all. It goes to either California, which you're already in California. You can probably hand deliver your stuff. And then there's another office in Atlanta, the 2 main offices, and they do everything for you. They send it back to you. And if you're in California, I bet you can do it in like 9-10 days because it's quick. So
I'm familiar with current travel restrictions. Russia has its borders closed.
That's because of the COVID stuff. Yeah.
I thought they were putting up a new wall. No. All right. So, no. So you guys, other than this COVID thing, go check out, go to Russia.com. And that's cool. Wow.
That's where I've done mine, my sons, everybody, like my parents, when they finally came over here, they did it through there too.
Okay, cool. So they are, listen, I've traveled all the world as well. And I've never had to use a visa. It's always just been like, whatever, but there are certain countries that are saying, nope, we need to do a background check on you. So, all right. So they did a background check on you but hang on a second. You said your son, hang on a second. Did you guys marry in the States and then move to Russia?
No. My son is actually from another woman that passed away when he was young. So
sorry to hear that.
I'm the only dad, but he moved with me and everything worked out. So everything works great.
Okay, cool. All right. So then what year did you guys, what year did you move to Russia?
So I came here about 6 years ago, and then he came here 1 year after me, after I established my anchor here, then I brought him. So I believe it was in 2015-ish, 2015, end of 2014, something like that.
Wow. Okay. Now, excuse me, you're doing a big leap of saying, I would like to go where my favorite team is. And you move to Russia, you get all settled, and then they say, niet.
Well, when I first came, I didn't actually try to get on Russian Legion right away. That was not my thing. I played with a bunch of local teams here. I actually played with a team called Headshot. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I played. The first big team that I played on over here was Headshot. Headshot. It's also a media thing. Stanislav is a media guy for Headshot Media. We played in the Millennium Series in Open Division 1, and we won the season. So that was awesome. And then I played with a couple local teams. I played with Banda Cupidanha, which is Cupid Gang. I played with Moscow Legion, which is different than Russian Legion.
Okay.
And then I also played with a few other teams. Yeah, this is a Czech team. This is PP Arena out of the Czech Republic. That was the team that I started playing with in the pro leagues after Polar Bears. I played with Polar Bears first in pro in Millennium Series, and then I played with PP Arena after Polar Bears.
Jesus Christ, man. Hang on a second. What was the other picture that I saw? Hang on. What is this one? Let me see. Hang on a second. What is this one here? There's Polar Bears.
That is
right?
the Polar Bears. Yeah, that's the Polar Bears. And I loved that team. It was so awesome. Lots of great guys on that team. And it was just, it was my first real Russian pro experience, like to go and be with the guys. Because a lot of the guys have actually played with Russian Legion or maybe, Art Chaos. There was players there. So, I mean, I played with, before I even played pro, I was playing with like Lukashuk. I played with Lazarus and these guys. I played with Art Chaos. So, and everybody knows who Art Chaos is. So,
dude, okay, hang on a second. Okay. It's hard enough for me to go to New York and understand their accent. And you're like, you don't even speak Russian. And then you're going to Russia. And
yeah.
I mean, how you must have taken a crash course. Did you do Berlitz or what did you do?
So basically, I've always looked at life as this: I'm a person that if I don't just throw myself into the sharks, then I won't learn. I will just become lazy and stay at that plateau. So I always just throw myself to the sharks, and I'm still learning Russian. I'm still awful at it. I can understand a lot of it. I can read it, but as for having like a full, in-depth, deep conversation, I can't do that yet.
Okay,
my
cool.
son, he can do it easy.
Nice.
He does it easy. He speaks Russian perfectly. So, but yeah, so I just always threw myself to the sharks, and that's kind of what I did when I came to Russia. I was just like, let's do it. So,
okay, cool. So
send
then
it.
you get when you get off the plane, and then you look in the yellow pages, or what do they have? They have the red pages. Never mind. It's a joke. They look, and then you go paintball Russia. You must have had contacts or connections or something.
So in the paintball area, I had zero contacts when I first got here. Zero. So I first came here with the job I actually got. I got a job here with Social Discovery Ventures. They're a company that they have lots of different things. Lingo, Leo, Shazam. They own Shazam. A bunch of dating sites and stuff like that. So I came here with them and met a few other people that were from different countries, like from India, from England, from all over the place. And they all spoke English because that's what our job was.
Right.
So that's how I started getting around. And obviously, my girl, she knew the paintball, and that's how I got involved with the paintball people and just the normal Russian friends. So
let me see. I think the word is nepotism, right? You had an in.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Hey, wax poetically about this story that when you were walking around this arena and you saw this picture. Tell everybody this.
So what I mentioned before, when I first went to it used to be called Arena Paintball Palace, and it was probably the most beautiful paintball field I ever went to. That was indoor paintball field because it was in a big bubble. So when you walk in, there's a long hallway, and on each side there's a bunch of changing rooms on each side, and on the walls between all the changing rooms are photos. So there's photos from everywhere. And the coolest part was they would have a photo and then they have the photographer's plaque and tell all about the photographer, where he's from and everything like that, and a picture of the photographer. Well, I was telling you earlier that I was walking down this hallway and I saw a picture of you on this wall. and it said Reaper and everything. And you were pointing your two pistols at the camera, but you were like, it almost looked like you were sliding. I don't know if the cameraman made it so this picture made it look like you were in movement, but it was awesome. It was an awesome picture. And then right beside you, there was another picture, and it was, I don't know if it was big game. It was some big Woods Ball event, and there was paint just everywhere. And it was really cool. So you guys, your photo and this photo were right next to each other. So it was like, it was cool.
Dude, I'm big in Russia. Yay!
Now you just got to come here for big paintball maneuvers.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay, cool. So enough about me. Let's talk about me. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. All right. So anyway, you've got this in. You've got this beautiful Russian wife. What's her name? Oh, let me guess. Olga. Let me guess.
Yes.
Something like that, right? Is it?
Yeah.
No.
It really is.
I know.
Yeah.
No, you meet an Olga, right? Like how typical Russian is that? And then you guys get together, you go to there, and now is she introducing you around? Is she like vouching for you?
No, it wasn't really vouching for me. She just kind of brought me and said like, okay, this is Jason, blah, blah. He likes paintball too. And I started playing paintball. She never said, oh, he's this cool, he's this good.
Right.
But she just said he also plays paintball, and she brought me to like the practices. And I think the very first time I actually played paintball in Russia was it was like a fun cup. It was just a bunch of teams that a lot of them couldn't come. So there was just a bunch of people, and we kind of drew numbers, and we just played.
Yeah.
And I think that's the very first time. And I actually shot the last bag of dye paintballs that time. So
no, really? Dude.
Yeah, it was the last bag in Russia.
But
I got a hold of it.
Here's the deal. You know, like when you play like pickup sports, like maybe you go to Venice Beach and you're going to play basketball and you're just standing around and, you know, all these people are playing and they go, okay, we'll choose you. And all of a sudden you're like, boom, bam, boom, poof, like this. You did the same thing, right? You show up and they're like, who's this guy?
I mean, I think that I played okay, but there's like lots of guys that were, you know, much better than me at the time. Much better than me. I mean, one of the guys was Sam Semilov. He's a coach. He was a coach of like Fedorov. Fedorov, Mishka. All these guys have been coached by this guy that I just met, and I didn't even know who he was.
Wow.
And you know, and now I'm really close to him. He's a great guy, amazing person, very, very well known here in Russia for sure, and very respected. So
nice. Well, but again though, you'd already played MPPL. Dude, it's not like you just showed up and go like, which end do I use? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I knew what I was doing.
You knew what you were doing, and all your skills showed when you played. So somebody saw this. People, again, you know what I'm saying? You had the pedigree, and then people go, oh, that's why you were able to jump on the polar bears in the mosque. You know what I'm saying? You were able to like, you know what I'm saying? They knew what they were getting. Yeah. So that's cool. And so you're saying language wasn't an issue though, when they're like, you know.
Honestly, a lot of people, I think anywhere you go here in Moscow, at least in Moscow, you can find somebody that speaks English to a point that you can understand.
Wow. Okay.
Like that's the coolest part about like when I put my son in school here, he knew English, he learned Russian, and now he's learning a third language, and he's 14 years old.
What the fuck?
So that's like one of the coolest things is like most people here already, they understand that another language is necessary in life. And
right.
Like if you go to Utah, I think like maybe like 12% knows some Spanish, and that's it.
Right. Or how many Americans have passports? The same thing, right? Exactly. So,
right? Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Okay, cool. So let's jump over here. You're going to kind of give us a little bit of let me just pop over here and let me jump in here. And then, okay, let me do this. Okay, so we've got, let me do Millennium series. Okay, cool. So 2007 Millennium series. Tell everybody what the Millennium series is.
So the Millennium series was before NXL bought it out. And actually, I don't know about everybody else in the world. Before I ever played the Millennium series, I was dreaming of playing the Millennium series. Wow. Because of that big, beautiful M and the fact that every single backdrop of the Millennium series was just gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, if you go to France in the Chantilly, the Millennium Series Chantilly, it was just stunning. Nice, all these beautiful locations. So
And who were you? Hey, is this your friend Maurice?
no, it's not Maurice. That's Keith Brown.
I was talking with you. All right. No, but okay. So, what? Look at this, dude. What are you doing over there? You're a commentator.
Yes, I was commentating with my friend Harrison Fry and who else we got? Max. That's Max.
Dude. Okay. And
Max
so,
Lindquist.
and you get to play against the Tauntauns?
Yeah, we played against the Tauntauns with PP Arena and with Polar Bears. We played against them.
Wow. Oh wait, you got to play against your own team. What team were you on?
Well, after this one I was with PP Arena, and by then the Polar Bears didn't exist anymore. Unfortunately, there was some money issues and stuff like that. So the Polar Bears ended up breaking down, and then like guys went to different teams. I went to PP Arena. So, and I actually played with Harrison Fry here on PP Arena as well.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's the New Jerusalem, not the old one.
Where is it? Where is the New Jerusalem?
So the New Jerusalem, they have it in Russia here. There's a New Jerusalem, so it's really beautiful as well. But obviously, it's not the real one.
Dude, look at Mindy's being persistent. She won't give up. She's trying to call me, and now she's screwing up my show. There you go. Nice. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll have to. There you go. No, sorry, Mindy. I can't talk to you right now. I'm in the middle of an important interview. Okay. So New Jerusalem. That's not the old Jerusalem. I got it. Okay. Cool. Now, the European Masters Millennium Series. Is that the same Millennium?
The Masters. It depends on which. Yeah. It could be the Masters is, I believe, in Bitburg. Yeah, Bitburg. It's yes, it's in Bitburg. So Bitburg is also the Masters is also when they played like the women's division. It depended on which event or which year, because sometimes it was women only, and then it was like women and kids, I think, that event, and then there was every event in the Millennium Series had a Nations Cup. So one event had the men's, one event had the women's, one event had like the kids, and then one event had the veterans. So,
dude, this is so cool. All right, and so you're right, and so like basically the Millennium Series was the series of the of Europe, and then the NXL came to Europe, and Millennium Series. I remember there was a transition and not a happy one. People were like, we love the Millennium Series, and
yeah, I think people loved the aura of the Millennium Series. It was like that European feeling, and the Americans loved coming there because that's what they were looking for, is have that European sense. And there was other events too, like CPS was an event. They had them in Italy and stuff like that. I'm sure Slava Coach, he puts that one on. But yeah, the Millennium Series was just like that European feeling. You go there and you meet everyone from all over the world. If you go to NXL, of course you'll bump into a couple people, which I hope this year will change. If the World Cup, I hope a lot of teams will come over. So because that'll be perfect. That'll be really nice.
And yeah, World Cup is basically that. I mean, we get a lot of South American teams. We get a lot of people. I mean, that's World Cup. But hopefully it's going to happen. And hopefully because of the COVID, I mean, they were supposed to be doing the regional series to get to the thing. And I don't know if listen, I'm not in that tournament world. I just hear things. And so hopefully, okay, Czechoslovakia, Czech, now is the Czech Republic, or okay. So wait, were you in it when it was the Czech Republic, the Czechoslovakia? When were you?
No, it was Czech Republic. Okay,
it was Czech Republic. Okay, cool. So then, how did you end up? I mean, what were you just pouncing around to the Cold War states or countries or what?
Yeah, I know. Just trying to be a spy. So actually, Slava Coach and a couple other people put me in touch with Petr Papež, which is the owner of PP Arena. And then I actually went and met them. And the craziest story in my life was when I met the PP Arena. I absolutely love those guys still. They're really great guys. I met them going to Austria. We were going to Austria for our first practice because one of the players, his name's Florian. He owns a beautiful field there called Paintball Palace. And we flew there. And when I flew there, I had the worst flight. Not because of the flight, not because of the people on the flight, but because of the turbulence. And I'm terrified of flying. Absolutely hate flying.
Oh, no.
And I fly everywhere.
Yeah.
So flying there, super turbulent, and I end up landing. And when I land, I feel like I need to get out and kiss the ground because I survived.
Wow.
I come out, and all of them were standing outside waiting for me. They all make a big ruckus. Everything was great. We go out to the van where we're gonna drive, and they pop open a beer. They crack open a beer, a Pilsen beer, of course, because it's PP Arena Pilsen.
Got it?
So they pop open this beer, and they say, "You want a beer?" And I said, "Yes, I need a beer. I need to relax." So we have some beers and everything, and then we get in the car, and guys are talking, and they say, "So your flight was bad, yeah?" And and the driver's like looking back at me and stuff, and I'm like, "Can you watch the road? I almost did it. I almost died on the airplane right now." And and going super fast in Austria around all the turns, and there's fog that you can see from
Wow.
maybe a couple meters in front of you. So then we finally get to the paintball place, and finally I could relax because I'm on sturdy ground. But in this conversation while we're driving, the owner says, "Oh, well, that plane ride was bad. Yeah. Well, I just crashed my airplane into my own paintball field last weekend." I was like, "What?" So I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to die on this trip for sure." This is where it ends. So, but I mean, he didn't really like crash it. He hit the wing on one of the poles because they couldn't take off because the grass was too long. So there was a lot of crazy stories, a lot of fun with the Czech guys for sure.
Dude, that is awesome. All right, so you got put in touch with this team. They flew you out. You're gonna say, "Okay, I'm gonna hang out with the be part of this thing." How long did you play with them?
I played fully for 2 seasons. So 2 seasons I played, and then the third season there was a bunch of stuff that went on, and then I ended up leaving the team the year after Harrison left the team. Just because there was like some stuff. Harrison and I were just looking to always get better and better and better, and we had our sights set on being the top. And then obviously, we Americans had different ways of thinking, and that's all. So, but no hard feelings, of course. So we just moved our separate ways. So
very cool, dude. God, and how was living? How was it? I mean, I was in Poland. I fell in love with the bread. There was something special. The Czech used to be called Czechoslovakia. Then they broke up and they became the Czech Republic. And then there's like these two different things. They pretty much have the same kind of like tradition thing. Did you fall in love with the culture, the people, and the food and everything?
I actually love Czech Republic. I'm not so big into Prague. To me, okay, Prague is a cool historical city, but to me, like I liked the actual countryside of the Czech Republic. I mean, where we always stayed, because the team was based out of Mito, which is about 45 minutes from the German border, so where it borders Germany, and which is really cool because Germany has a lot of rules with paintball, so a lot of Germans came over to play paintball in Czech Republic.
Right.
So, and Mito to me it's a very small city, but it was so pretty. It was so pretty just to walk around and relax. And there was a train station that went right there, so it was just a pretty place to be. And the location of PP Arena was one of the coolest places too, because it's located right on a old beer factory. So like the building is just this huge old building. And another prank that Petr Papež pulled on me was the second time I went there, I met them in Mito. Well, I met him at the airport. He brought me to Mito, and he was showing me around the facility. And Mito is a very big hunting area. So there was a lot of meat hooks in the basement. And I didn't know that it was a hunting place. So when we went there, he showed me, and there's like blood on the ground from where they just cleaned the meat. And he says, "Okay, so this is where we kill Americans." I was like, "What the hell?"
That's a good prank.
So always playing pranks on it. Everybody's always playing pranks on me. So
I love those pranks. Those pranks are good, especially when you just listen, when you're like you're in on the adventure, you're just having a good time, and you go, "Well, okay, that's it." You don't it's not like one of those cartoons where you're like trying to get out. You're going, "Well, what side would you like to put me on?" Exactly. I'm all in. I love it. All right, listen. Asia. What the hell? What are you doing in Asia?
Yeah, so in Asia, we went. So I have to say that this lady, her name is Faz Lin. She's not. She is one of the most incredible women in paintball I've ever met. Um, she's a princess of Malaysia. First of all, she is just absolutely amazingly kind woman, and she decided that she wanted to build a team, a pro team for Asia.
Nice.
She came to me, and she came to Joe Barrett as well, and we spoke. And I actually contacted Mishka and Kostya Fedorov, Konstantin Fedorov, and we decided to build this team. And she brought us all there, which was also an amazing trip. When we fly a person holding an American passport, a person holding a Russian passport, and a person that's holding a Russian and a Ukrainian passport. Fly to China first. We land in China, and then Fedorov thinks it's an awesome, funny prank to do and run through the thing and call me a spy while we're putting our freaking passports, and they're all different. We're all together, so it just looked bad, but it was funny.
Oh,
and
that's funny. That is funny.
And then none of us know Chinese, so we decide we're gonna get a 24-hour visa because we had like a really long layover. We took a 24-hour visa and we decided to go through the city of, I hope I don't slaughter this name, Guangzhou. It's a really big city to the south. So we decided to go out there, and we go to take a taxi. So in this photo, you have Mishka, Konstantin Fedorov, Joe Barrett, Harrison Fry, Daniel, what's her name, and Ben Challenger, or Pocket, as I call him, because he's like a little guy. So, but he's awesome. So we get in the taxi, and I asked if we took Visa or some type of credit card, and they told us yes. So we get in the taxi, we get downtown, and they don't take Visa. They don't take Visa, they want cash. So we're running around trying to find cash for this guy, and we think that he stops our meter. No, he stopped it and started a new one to drive us to get cash.
Oh no.
So imagine this. Now we're at this beautiful hotel called the Hotel of China. And it's me and two Russian guys and this Chinese guy. And this Chinese guy is yelling at the Russian guys, like full on yelling. And I'm like, this is not a good idea to yell at these Russian guys. Stop yelling at these Russian guys, please. So Misha goes in and finds a way to get cash. He gets the cash. He goes back to the taxi cab driver. And he's like, here's the cash. And he pays for our initial taxi ride. Well, the guy wanted money for the second taxi instead. And we were like, no way. No, we're drawing a line. So now this guy starts yelling more. So finally this Chinese guy comes out that speaks some English, and he comes out and he just basically tells this guy, get out of here. Go away. They're staying at this hotel. Go away. So the guy leaves. And the same thing happened on the way back to the airport.
No. How do you know it was the same guy? Because they might all look the same to you. So
it's true. I mean, sometimes.
I'm just joking. Could have been the same guy because he's doing the same trick.
It could have been.
Doesn't matter. So. Anyway, wow, dude, you are amazing with these stories. This is fantastic. So, but when you say Asia, are you talking about Malaysia, not Asia?
Yeah, Malaysia. So we played in Langkawi. We just did a stop in China to get to Langkawi.
Okay, cool. And then so you created this team, and how long were you there?
We were in Langkawi for, I believe, I want to say at least a week. At least a week we were on the island. So, and that's the first year that we played with them. So KTM is based off of the team. KTM Paintball is also involved with KTM Racing. So it's a big deal in Malaysia. Obviously, KTM was designed in Austria, I believe. It used to be a motorcycle company. Now they make like the Crossbow, which is a supercar. So that was the first year that we played. And the second year that we played, we just played in Thailand last year in December. We played in Thailand. The same team minus a couple guys. So, but we all went to Thailand and played there.
Dude, this is crazy talk, man. You were just been like all over the place. This is amazing. I mean, when I started looking at your background, I'm like I said, I didn't even know where to start. I said, you're just gonna just gonna do it. Tell me about your trip to Riga. Let's do that one. Hang on a second. Let's pop over
Riga.
here. Okay, so tell everybody where Riga is.
So Riga is part of Latvia. It's a city there.
Hang on a second. For the geographically challenged, there's Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania, right? And they're the
really
Baltic
close.
states, Baltic
Yep.
states that were independent, and that Russia decided that they wanted them. So at one time, the Soviet Union, and so they've been shifted around. If you all over the place. Basically, now they're independent states, but they are really strategically located, and they're actually really small states or states. They're small countries, but they kind of all have a bit of stuff in common. I mean, like their history.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, they do for sure. Even in Latvia, they actually still speak. They speak 2 languages: Latvian or Russian or English. So 3 languages. And one of the last times we went there, they were fighting for their independence, wanting to get rid of the Russian language.
Right.
So that's my son right there.
Wow.
So basically, it's every year, the way visas and stuff work, we have to go in and out of Russia. But it's my and my son's tradition. We always go to Riga because he likes it as well. I went to Riga first by myself for work because this is where we also have an office there. So I went there the first time and just loved it. So then we just always keep going back.
Wow, dude, that is great bonding, right? Great father and son time.
And there's the best place to go if you do go to Riga is called Old Town. You can stay in a hotel for very cheap, and it's just small streets that are all intertwining and crossing, and churches, cathedrals, just amazing art. It's an awesome place to go to.
Wow, dude, that is awesome. You guys, listen, get your passport, please. You guys go get a passport. Just go to the next state over. How's that? Just travel. Just get out and do something, please. When all this sea stuff disappears. Okay, listen, brother man. I could do 20 shows with you. You're fucking amazing. This is just amazing, but I can't right now. But anyway,
of course. We can do another one. It's fine. Yeah.
We are going to do another one, and we're going to just like the light bulb went on my head. We're going to do a travel. I've been doing a lot of travel things. So I do a lot of like where are you from kind of thing. Where are you from is going to be hard from you. But if we did like a travel show though, and then you can kind of like, you can tell us all the places that you've been. I can tell you places I've been, and we can kind of like intermix it. I think we're going to do that. So let's put a pin in this one. And now that you guys know who Jason Bourne is, I'm just joking. He looks like Jason Bourne. If you know who Jason Burns, he's just a cool cat. Go look him up. Where do we find you on social media?
So you can find me on basically Jason Burns _25. You put that in, you'll find me on Instagram. You'll find me on Facebook as well.
Okay, cool. So. And what's the next one? You guys, you're still in the Russian Legion.
Yes, still in the Russian Legion.
When are you going to? What's your next? Are you coming to the States?
Yeah. Well, whenever we find out dates, yes, Russian Legion is planning to play in the United States in the NXL, in the regional, and in World Cup, of course. There's talks and negotiations about playing here in Russia in the RXL, stuff like that. There's lots of stuff up in the air right now, just because it's all starting to situate or get sorted out with the whole coronavirus. So, but we will be playing in the NXL in the United States for sure.
Do you know who this troll is? This hater? Who's this hater in the right there? His name is Mark
Bradbury. He's from England. I actually coached the team that he played on in England. But he's a cool cat. Yeah, he's
I know.
A cool cat.
I know. I always say that to all these people. They're all trolls and haters. No, they're not. Mark Bradbury, how are you, brother? Hopefully, I'll be able to see you in England if I go there in August. We're going to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, brother man. So listen. Yes, we got to do a whole thing just about the Russian Legion thing with you being in it and all that kind of stuff. But again, I can't fit you all.
We got to talk about Germany. We got to talk about. I played for teams Germany. We got a lot to talk about.
We're gonna do it. Okay, cool. We're
gonna talk about Proshar, the best paint in the world. Have you shot Proshar?
You know who I'm sponsored by, right?
Wait, you shot Proshar though, right?
Yeah, I've shot everything. I've shot all paint. Listen.
I know who you're sponsored by. I had to give you shit too.
Hang on a second. That's just all bullshit. All this stuff. I've shot all paint, but I'm going to tell you something. In the way that I play paint, and the way that I play paintball is that I'm so close anyway. It really doesn't matter what's coming out of the barrel.
Yeah.
You guys, it matters. For me, I'm like within like 5 or 10 feet of someone, so I couldn't tell you what I'm shooting. It doesn't matter. But all paintball is good paintball, and everybody's happy. That's all I'm willing to say. Okay, cool. All right, so listen. I'm going to put you in the green room for a second. Hang out 1 second. I'm going to
Okay.
close out the show. And wait.
All right. Really quick, everybody that is watching right now, we're holding a live stream it's a complimentary class for the Russian Legion training on Saturday. So
right. That's the
come join us.
What do you guys call that one? What is that thing called?
So it's called the Red Wave
Okay.
School. So it's basically there's a bunch of packages, a bunch of different classes. But this Saturday we're holding a complimentary one. You can be on live. You can join the class. You can be in through it with Telegram, Zoom, all that kind of stuff. So check us out. Write me. Write anybody that you want. Yep, right there. Write anybody that you want that's on the Russian Legion team, and we'll get you involved. So
nice, very, very cool. I got it. Okay, brother man, I'm gonna put you in the green room, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Oh, mamma mia! Hey, how was that? This guy is fantastic, dude. I'm jealous, and I don't get jealous. Get your passport, travel. I hope these shows inspire you to want to do that kind of stuff, to follow your dream. All right, so this is my my parting shot, my bonus ball, my goodbye to you guys. Hold on, look at that, huh? Best way to predict your future is to create it. How do you create it? Just do it. Don't be the crabs in the barrel kind of syndrome where everybody's pulling each other down. Don't go, I wish I could have, I should have, could have. What? No, just do it. Look what we just talked to Jason for about an hour about that. He just did it. He just said, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go for it and try get a Russian wife. It's easier. No, I'm just joking. But just you can see me in the green room. Listen, the best way to do that is to what? Is to create your future. Create it. Do this. Jump out. I'm gonna have a great time. Whatever happens, it's an adventure. It's a journey. I'm not going to worry about breaking an arm or falling. Yeah, it's all part of the fun. It's all part of the adventure. Your life is going to be so much richer if you just do that. Create your own future. All right, you guys. Listen, I'll see you later. We got a bunch of other cool shows coming up, and be safe. Have a great weekend. See you soon.